advocacy, community, education, resources, rewards. Learn more at thervadvisor.com.
This is the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander, and today I am speaking with the Vice President at Transcore. It is Scott Brosi. Scott, welcome.
Hey, Tom, thanks a lot. Appreciate you getting us on your show.
Yeah, been looking forward to chatting with you. I know we had a couple of hiccups along the way with technology. Sometimes that happens. And, but hey, we're up and running now, so that's a good thing. And I wanted to talk to you about these products you have there at Transcore. I'm on the website for RV Toll Pass, and this sounds like a really cool idea because, I guess a lot of us are familiar with sort of, Sun Pass and those kinds of things that you have for your cars. But for RVs, larger units kind of rolling through, tell us a little bit about how this all started.
I'd be glad to, Tom. We were sitting around one day. This product really grew out of a product that we have for commercial trucks. Mm-hmm. And commercial truckers drive all over the United States. They're in and out of all these different toll roads, and they really needed a product that they could use. So they got one transponder, one account. You got 200 trucks, and you got 7 or 8 or 9 toll accounts for each one of those trucks. It's a lot of accounting. So anyway, we're sitting around one day and we're thinking, who else could use this product? We're thinking to ourselves, you know what? RVers could use this. There's a group of RVers that are traveling the country. I like to call it in their magic carpets. They've got these beautiful magic carpets to take them to these magnificent places.
Yeah.
Last thing they want to do is have the hassle of paying in a booth, at a toll booth or something like that. They really want to just get on the road and drive and enjoy. Like we say, we like you to stop for the scenery, not the tolls. So asking some RVers, hey, would a product like this be something that you would use? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. We try to avoid toll roads right now because we just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
This would be fantastic. So we went to a few RV shows, a couple up in Louisville and one out in Salt Lake, and we talked to a bunch of people, talked to a bunch of RVers, and we got the consensus that there is a group, not all, but there's a group of RVers that would be very interested in a product like this. So we stepped off. We took the product that we have. There's literally hundreds of thousands of these transponders being used on commercial trucks now.
Yeah.
So we made agreements with the toll authorities. We got the product approved and coded for RVs, and we launched it. And it's done pretty darn well. We've had some good success with it. It really comes in 3 product types. We have one, we call it the MH3, and that's easy. Motorhome, 3 axles, 2 in the rear, 1 in the front.
Right.
MH2, you can guess what that is. Motorhome 2, 1 axle in the front, 1 axle in the back. Right. And then we've got the TR2, which is if you're pulling a camper trailer or a 5th wheel. So we've covered all the bases, and it's we jumped through all the hoops and got approved with all the toll authorities.
Yeah.
We're tied up with the same toll consolidator that we use for commercial trucks.
Take us through that process. I'm always fascinated when a company, you've got an idea like your idea, which is terrific, but then you have the very real challenge of having to sort of deal with, the states or federal bureaus or whatever it is to kind of, like you said, you described it as jumping through hoops. Geez, I mean, that just sounds like it's a lot to have to kind of navigate. Tell us now, let me ask you, was that you yourself, or did you sort of pass that on to someone else to deal with that headache? How did that go?
Well, this is the world that we live in because Transcore is one of the largest toll integrators, toll providers. We manufacture RFID readers and transponders in our factory in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're headquartered up in Nashville. So this is the world that we live in, and the toll authorities are our customers, and we love them. They're great people. What they want is to be able to give their customer a safe environment to drive on, a good road service to drive on, and a good product. And for that, they want to get their transaction.
Sure.
So we live in this world, but what we do is, because all the different toll authorities around the country, they kind of grew up on their own. You got a toll authorities in Florida, you got Texas, you got Oklahoma, Kansas, California, Colorado, and then you have the toll authorities in the Northeast, which formed a group which is called the Interagency Group. And they all interoperate. So the whole Northeast interoperates together, but Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, all the rest of them. So what you do is you get a toll consolidator, and our toll consolidator creates master accounts with all these toll authorities around the country. And then we have a multi-protocol tag, which is the RV toll pass, and that's what we're selling to the.
There it is. Yeah. For you folks just listening, because some of our consumers just listen to the podcast, they don't watch it. If you'd hold it up one more time, I'll explain it. It's a small rectangular white little device that's probably about 1.5 inches thick, and probably about 4 or 5 inches wide.
Yeah, it's about 3/4 of an inch thick, Tom. It's about 2.5 inches wide and about 2.5 inches long.
There you go. And it's just a little box that does it all. It says RV on it, RV toll pass, and there you go. And it just sort of affixes to your windshield, I guess, right?
Right. What you do, it's real easy. It's just a hook and loop, or what some people call Velcro.
Yeah.
You pull off the adhesive, and you want to stick it in the upper inside center of your windshield, and you want to make it in a horizontal position like this. And it just sticks in there. It takes 2 seconds to install it.
There you go. It's simple. We're going to talk more about this in a moment, but I have to, I have to ask, because you're talking about it, and you said, we're based in South Florida. Now, are you in Nashville, you yourself, or where are you?
I'm actually in Hot Springs Village, Arkansas.
Oh, okay. Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. All right.
Part of the country.
Yeah. That, and in the central time zone. And I learned that through our correspondence together, going back and forth, and I very much figured that out. But do you see a day, or foresee a day, when all the toll organizations around the country will sort of be under one umbrella? Do you see, in other words, we live here in South Florida, so we have SunPass, but I'm originally from Pennsylvania, and I know that they have a whole different kind of thing up there. And if you want to take the whatever extension, northeast extension of the turnpike, and drive from Philly up to the Poconos or something like that, I think it's Easy Pass. And there's a bunch of different ones throughout the country. Do you see it maybe all coming together at one point, so you just have one transponder and you go anywhere you want in the United States?
Eventually that's going to happen, Tom, but it's going to take a while. The IBTTA, which is the organization that all the toll roads and toll bridges and tunnels fall under, is working hard to try to do that. But it is a massive undertaking. And there literally are millions of dollars worth of infrastructure that's already in place out there. Yeah. That's not going to be quick to pull out and put in new types of protocols, new types of readers, and things like that. So they want to do it. There's an effort to do it, and I believe it's going to happen, but I think it's going to be a few years from now before it does happen. Gotcha. And in time, a product like RV Toll Pass, or the commercial vehicle product that we have for the commercial trucks, helps solve a problem. It helps solve a problem for folks that are driving nationwide. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. Eventually, 5 years, 10 years from now, maybe sooner, but who knows? We'll see the interoperability take place between these different toll agencies. They're trying it now. You have regional interoperability groups, like, for example, between Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, things like that. There's interoperability between that particular region. But to pull the whole United States together and put it under one type of technology, put it under one back office, and get all the transaction and back office agreements in place on how they transfer the money and who gets what, where, when, and how, it's a big problem. It's a big challenge, and it's being worked on, though. They definitely recognize that there's a need for it. And
I would think that it's certainly something I think everybody can probably agree on, at least. Well, let me put it this way. Drivers would find it very convenient because they don't have to worry about switching stuff out or getting into the pay lane where they can just breeze right through with just their own transponder. Our guest is Scott Brosi. He is the vice president at Transcore, and they are the makers of the RV Toll Pass. And you can check it out at rvtollpass.com, rvtollpass.com. Great product. We're going to find out a whole lot more when we come back from the break. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. Back in just a moment.
The RV Advisor was created for you to protect your rights as an RV enthusiast and arm you with the knowledge to navigate the complex RV industry. There's strength in numbers, and that's why we've built a nationwide network of RV owners empowering you with the advice you can trust at rvadvisor.com.
We are back on the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander. My guest is Scott Brosi. He is vice president at Transcore, and they're the makers of the RV Toll Pass. You can go to rvtollpass.com. I had some people ask me, why do you keep looking off to your side? Well, that's where the other monitor is. So I get to, it's my cheat sheet. I get to look over here and I get to look at everything. So I know what it gives the appearance like I know what I'm talking about, folks. That's basically what's going on. Scott, let me ask you, you've been doing this for some time. You're vice president there. Tell us a little bit about your experience with this, and, from maybe a past line of work, kind of moving into transponders and doing all that fun stuff and kind of getting your head around the technology a little bit.
Well, you know something, Tom, I started out in the RFID business working for Daimler-Benz Aerospace out of Ulm, Germany. Wow. And we were in the process of developing RFID bag tags for luggage. Because I know this is going to probably bore your listeners to death, but anyway, if you use barcodes are just great for the first pass when they go through the reader. But after they've gone down that belt and they get scuffed up and things like that, the scanners can't read them anymore.
Yeah.
It solves that problem. So I got in the business starting out with Daimler-Benz back in the day. I'm talking 25 plus years ago. Time flies. And so that's how I got involved in it. Now, Transcore, we take the product, the RFID products, and we apply it to transportation. And it's a great product for transportation. We did one of the first electronic toll collection systems in the world in Dallas for the Dallas toll road system there, the North Texas Transportation Association, NTTA. And we did that, then we did some other things, and it's been a very, very good business for us. Pulling this together and being able to produce these products like this that are able to give interoperability to the customers that do travel between toll authorities and across the nation has been really exciting, because it's helping to fill the gap until the interoperability becomes a reality across all the toll authorities. So it's been a good experience. It's we also do we manage all the traffic lights in Manhattan. So if you're sitting in Manhattan and you're wondering, why won't this light turn green?
It's your fault. We need to come after you.
It's like nobody ever said, well, what company does that? Well, that's one of the things that we do. So we're heavily involved in transportation technology, intelligent transportation systems. And we've got a super duper team of people, great manufacturing facility out in Albuquerque, state-of-the-art products made in America. Yeah. And we've got great customers. The toll authorities are great customers. They're great people. They really want a good product for their customers, a good, safe product for their customers. So
Yeah.
it's been fun. Been a lot of fun.
That's very, very interesting, actually, and you know, kind of transitioning from the technology we were talking about into this, and I guess another word for interoperability. Say it one more time. Interoperability is compatibility.
Between the different.
Essentially, yeah, because you know, it's almost like the old you know, Apple PC dilemma, right? You know, we have those kinds of things every now and then crop up, and it's like, oh, you're on a PC. Well, I'm on a Mac, you know. But we're getting closer and closer, so that I'm still waiting for that one remote so that I don't have to keep changing remotes to get the volume turned up and then go to the basketball game or whatever the heck it is I'm watching. And I need a science degree to just change the channel. Working on that. You know, I think we're probably somewhat in this close to the same age bracket. And I remember the remote control was me getting up out of the chair and changing the dial, turning the dial for mom and dad, put on channel 7, you know, or whatever it was. So let me ask you this, you know, with your day-to-day operations, Scott, you know, what is kind of, take us through an average day. I mean, is it always sort of thinking about the customer and how things are improved, or what's a day-to-day thing like for you? It's got to be a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, really what we're striving for is to make it more convenient for the customers, make it easier for the customers.
Yeah.
Our customer being the toll authorities and our customer being the end users, and thinking about those things. And that's, you know, RV Toll Pass kind of does that. It kind of fits a niche, not for everybody, but for the RVers that are crossing the country and things like that. It really saves them from having to worry about toll collection. You just use open road tolling. You know, the gantries are above the roads and your transponders in the front windshield, and that's all you do. You just drive. You just drive normal driving speeds, no pulling into booths, no looking for coins, no taking out the credit card, stuff like that. So
yeah, I remember going through tolls, and I'm sure you remember these days when you had a sort of a big plastic catching basket and you'd throw a quarter in there, you know, or you know, and
you wouldn't believe what people threw into those things.
Believe it. Well, you know, it's
milkshakes and you name it. I mean, people would throw everything, their trash in there and all kinds of.
My goodness. I mean, you know, but I can remember that. And I was like, I always worried, you know, I was like, am I going to like miss that thing? You know, I'm going to throw a quarter and then I got to stop the car, get out, get it. You know. Oh man, I'll tell you, it was like nerve wracking. I'd actually like, you know, I'd get like nerve. It's like I'm standing at the foul line or something, and I'm
you sit there waiting for that light to turn from red to green. It won't turn. You're like, is there a quarter on the ground?
You got somebody behind you tooting the horn. You know, it's nerve wracking. It was absolutely.
It is.
No, you don't have that. You just go right through with the transponder. Thanks, Scott. So let's let the folks know they're interested in this, and our RVing community, our RVing family. What's the best way to explore this and pick one up?
The absolute best way is to go to rvtollpass.com. All the information's on there, all the terms and conditions, everything that you need to look at, setting up an account. Once you get your RV Toll Pass, there's a human readable ID number on here. Mm-hmm. And then you go into rvtollpass.com after you've received your transponder, hit activate, and that'll take you through the pages. And basically you set it up just like you would any other toll account with any other toll authority. Very simple, straightforward. Just takes a few minutes. You have to have your license plates for your vehicles. Now, a lot of people get brand new motor coaches and they always ask me, I don't have my permanent plates yet. It doesn't matter. You can go in and put your temporary plates in there, set up your account. And then when you get your permanent plates, just go right back in and update that in your account. It's very simple. And a lot of people say, hey, can I tow a vehicle with my motorhome if I have an RV Toll Pass? You absolutely can. You just need to make sure that that vehicle is registered on your RV Toll Pass account, the license number of that vehicle. And most of these toll authorities have what's called automatic vehicle classification. So they'll count your axles or their weight, or they'll do something to understand what the classification of that vehicle is. So when you're towing, they'll know you've got two more axles on the ground, or if you're not towing, they know you just got 2 or 3 axles on the ground, and they'll charge you accordingly. And that's another thing too. We pass on the lowest rates that we get. We don't mark up these tolls at all. We just pass them on at the straight rate. There is a service fee. You can find out about that on rvtollpass.com. Where it works, there's 127 toll roads in the United States, 5,000 miles of toll lanes out there. And this works on about 95% of those. There are a few, there's a few little bridges here and there, a few little toll roads here and there that only take cash and only take a credit card. They don't use any kind of RFID. Those, of course, won't work. But the vast majority of toll roads in the United States accept it. You can go in there and find a list state by state. It tells you what toll roads work and what toll roads don't work. So it's real easy, rvtollpass.com, and every bit of information that you need, where to order it. It's real simple. You just click on the button of whoever you want to order from that's listed there, and get it in the mail, register it, put it on your RV, put it on your magic carpet, take off and see all these beautiful places around our country.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so many of us, me included, have not been to every state and would like to and see what's out there in the USA. And I'll tell you, there is an awful lot to see. It's an amazingly diverse country with so many beautiful things to see. Scott, thank you so much for taking time out to join us. We really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Scott Brosi is the vice president at Transcore. There we go. They are the makers. I knew I'd remember. Well, I had to cheat a little. They are the makers of the RV Toll Pass. You'll want to check it out at rvtollpass.com. rvtollpass.com. It'll certainly make things a lot easier on those toll roads. 127 toll roads across the country. Did not know that until just moments ago. So this is also not only entertaining, or at least we hope so, but also educational. Right. Thank you to Scott Brosi for that little factoid right there. Scott, thanks again. We'll see you again soon down the road. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. We'll be back in just a moment.
Buying an RV is an exciting moment, like buying a new house. You should inspect the RV and the contracts thoroughly. You may not know what to look for, and that's where the RV Advisor comes in. GG and her experts are here for you at rvadvisor.com.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the RV Advisor Podcast. And I am joined, of course, by our guest coordinator, Neve Carey-Zacco. Hey, Neve.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
All right. Doing well. And I know that we've got some new stuff brewing at the RV Advisor, and we're always, developing new, relationships and partnerships with different folks. What do you got cooking this time around?
We sure do. It's funny. I feel like right now at the RV Advisor, all aspects of the business are moving at a very fast pace between partners and on the road and whatever. The latest is some really fabulous new team members have joined us over the course of the last few days. As you know very well, Tom, that we got on our ops meeting yesterday and got to meet everyone via Zoom. Many people might not know that we are all over the state and here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, so, we've even got a presence in Venezuela, which I just learned yesterday. I just learned that.
I did not know that either.
Yeah.
I did not know that either.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that you can get your job done from anywhere and just no notice being taken. It's fantastic. But so
like a spooky brand new planet. It's
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a fabulous new lady joining us, who will be taking over publishing some of our items within our newsletter.
Yep.
Love our newsletter. I think it's very informative, but I would like to hear from our members and guests and followers, listeners, what they would like to see more of. What would they like to read more of? Would they like tips and tricks? Would they like more about the RV marketplace? Would they like to see maybe a buy and sell column? Like, who knows? I just would like to know that we are touching on everything that our members appreciate and would like to see. So yeah, whoever is listening or watching, just let us know. We would be more than happy to accommodate and just learn and grow as a team. And my email is ncarey@thervadvisor.com, or reach me via our Instagram or Facebook and just let us know what you'd like to see more of, and we will happily adjust.
There you go. It's a constant evolution and series of adjustments, and just like in sports,
Yes, exactly.
You figure out your game a little bit, and they adjust to that, and then you got to readjust. It's part of life, right?
Absolutely, Tom.
Well, listen, Neve, thank you again so much. It's always great to see you and hear what's new and what's going on. And I think the next time we talk, you'll be in a different location. You'll be.
I sure will. I will be
out on the road. So we'll see where you are, and maybe get a bird's eye view, or at least a roadside view of what's happening.
Yeah, super excited.
Yeah, I love it. So we'll see you then. Safe travels. And of course, safe travels to all our friends there watching and listening to the RV Advisor podcast. For Neve, Carey, Zacco, I'm Tom Alexander. Thanks so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.